Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Late Bloomer Podcast with your host, Asia. And today we're going to start with a story time, okay? And then I'm going to get into the topic, but you'll understand where it's coming from really quickly. So here's a story time. When I was younger, about 13, 14, I was home one summer from boarding school. I used to go to Hampton School for Girls in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. That was a whole experience. One day I'll tell you that story. I didn't last there the whole high school time. I transferred and went to St. Andrews in Kingston, but that's a whole other argument. So I woke up one morning from summer break, and I had braids in that year. I was feeling cute, looking cute, all the good things. And I just went to scratch my hair, and hair started to just come out in clumps. Just clumps and clumps. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I run to my dad, and I'm like, with like a big handful of hair, and he's like, girl, that don't look good. Whatever that is, that don't look safe. And I'm like, you're telling me. So we're both freaking out. We're calling friends and family, like, what does this mean? And they're like, go to the dermatologist. We run to the dermatologist, and she's like, ma'am, girl, child, you have alopecia. But not only do you have alopecia, it's looking like you're probably going to have alopecia universalis, because I'm seeing that your eyebrows are thinning. I'm seeing that your eyelashes aren't very full, and it's looking like this is the early stages of it, and everything is going to fall off. And we're both like, that's bad. That sounds really bad. So she was right. She predicted very, very correctly. That year, all of my hair fell out, every single strand. We tried to save it. We tried to do what are they called? Steroid injections. We did everything, and the hair said, we will go, and it did. And to this day, of course, it's not a fixable disease. And I probably have 5 eyelashes to this day. And those are just because my body is putting all of its energy and strength. It's like to hold onto those so that stuff doesn't like get into my eye, literally, because facial hair is very functional. It's there for a reason. So yeah, that's what happened. So that's the origin story, but this is my point. So I wore wigs from 13 years old to 30 years old. I wore wigs every single day. And let me tell you, the wigs when I was in high school were not cute. No, ma'am. They were some granny wigs that she would wear to church, that she used to keep on her head on her little nightstand. The auntie wig on the nightstand that she'd wear to church. That's what I was wearing. Okay, not the short ones with the like flips, not the crazy ones. But I was wearing little like bobs, little, whatever, with little bang comb overs. If I could find a picture, I'll put it on the screen. I was wearing that to school. And the bullying was vicious. It was absolutely vicious. But I was used to it. That was my reality. That was my experience. I had no choice. You know what I mean? So eventually I just got used to it. But wearing that wig for so many years kind of built this, like, I have two selves. I have the self when I'm in private, when I take my wig off, when I'm at home, in my room. And I have the self where when I go out, I put on my wig so I can face the world. You know what I mean? It's a covering. It's like putting my clothes on. You know what I mean? Like when I'm bald, I'm not ready. I'm naked, And it became this psychological thing where I'm just so used to being covered. And I'm not wearing my glasses today for a reason, because I want to expose me, So, right. One day, I'm getting ready, and I'm about to put on my wig, and I just felt heavy. The wig felt heavy, The wig felt like a burden. And I started to think to myself, Asia, what if, well, how would you feel if you went out without your wig? How would you feel if you went out bald? And the thought of that just like, that was never an option to me. Like, my biggest fear in life at that time, at this time, the biggest fear was getting into a fight and someone dragging off my wig and exposing that I was bald. Or the wind hitting me too hard and whoop, wig fly off. Or going on a roller coaster and we go, like, I would never, like, roller coasters didn't see me because we can't, how dare I go upside down and my wig drop off on the fucking roller coaster at Disney. Like, I couldn't manage the shame. So those things just never saw me. Like, I was just so, it was just a part of my identity, that kind of like nervousness and fear and attachment to this wig. But it was so normal to me for so many years. And truly one year I was just like, but what if I was bald? Like, what if I just like was bald? Like, I just went out and like felt cute being bald. And what would happen, you know? And slowly but surely, I decided that I want to feel like my full and true authentic self. And I took the wig off and I wore scarves for a little while. And that felt so naughty and dangerous. I was like, I would go out with my little scarf with a little knot at the top, and I'm like feeling like, oh my God, this is so daring, you know? And then eventually one faithful day, I took the wig off and I went out. And big up to my friend Cesar, who did a great photo shoot with me, so I could post that on my 30th birthday that I was introducing my new bald self. Thank you. And now I haven't looked back. It's been 2 years and I've been fully bald and I love it so much. It's a look. Let's talk about that. It's like I'm serving face. Like, I fucking love it. It's so cute. It's an identity. It feels intentional. It feels like it's on purpose, you know? And I think a part of the fear that I had was my eyebrows, you know? I just felt very ugly because I got these tattooed when I was 17 because I have no eyebrows. So and back then, this was like not 10 years ago, but this is a very long time ago, where we didn't have the cute microblading and the cute this and that. Like, listen, if I had alopecia now, it would be a different story, okay? But alopecia then, all right, the options were limited, all right? So this was the tattoos that we had in place, and that's what I had to do. And trust me when I tell you that even with the wig, that was what people made fun of the most, you know what I mean? Or asked me about the most. Why you have on tattoo eyebrow? Why your eyebrow looks so, why them gone? Oh, what happened? You shave your eyebrow? You know. So, Jesus. So, to this day, that has definitely been a piece of insecurity. But I'm just like, fuck it. What if I did it on purpose? Fuck it. What if it's a look? What if I'm camp? What if it's editorial? You know what I mean? Like, just fuck it. Who cares? Like, I'm not gonna wear this hot ass wig, and what am I gonna do? Like, do tattoo removal on my face? Like, no. So you might as well just like be okay with it. And I don't want my glasses to also be something that I'm hiding behind as well. So that's why we're here naked today. Okay, so I tell you that whole story because throughout that whole journey, I would tell myself, self-love, Asia, self-love. I need to love myself. I need to do acts of self-love so I can feel good about myself. And I'm realizing something hit me the other day, like, what is self-love if you don't like yourself? Isn't it just a Band-Aid? Especially for us late bloomers who haven't really come into ourselves until like our later years. What is self-love but just a band? Like, I don't think no amount of nails trips or getting your hair done or having drinks with the girls or going on trips, those are great things and those feel good, and you should do that. You should do those things, but they're not gonna like fix what's inside. They're not gonna fill the emptiness that you may have, or the disconnect between you and who you really want to be that you're like suffering from. Those two things are not gonna, it's not gonna fix it. I think, go with me here, that self-discovery is way more important than self-love. Let me prove my hypothesis. I think that going through the motions of figuring out who you are as a person, what do you like to do for fun? What makes you tick? What gets you excited? What do you think that your career should be? Are you hiding anything? Are you insecure about anything that you need to own? Are you bald secretly, wearing wigs every day and feeling like you can't show your true self? Because the self-love was in showing off my authentic self, That was that was the self-love. That journey between hiding and exposing myself, that discovery of who I am and that I'm actually beautiful bald, that's the self-love. That is the action of self-love, in my opinion. Not going out to get my nails done, or to not wearing a face mask. Like that's not going to make me feel better. You know what I mean? Hiding was ruining my self-conscious and was like fucking with my psyche. It was like separating my vision of myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm one self in the house and one self outside. What is your wig? What's your wig? What are you hiding? Are you, I gotta go back to the accountant thing. Are you an accountant but you really want to be a chef? Are you gay? Not to laugh, sorry. I just mean like, is there something, or what are you hiding? What is your true thing? What is something that is important to you that you're not embracing because of society, or because you're afraid to be judged, or because whatever it is? That figuring out that thing is self-discovery, and then working to fix that thing is self-love. That's what I think. That's my little hot take. I don't think self-love is as important, honestly. But I do think that it's important to treat yourself. Treat yourself nicely. If you want that Starbucks, go get that fucking Starbucks. If you want to go, you know what I mean, on a trip with your friends, like do that. Like those little simple pleasures are amazing. But really diving deep and digging deep and figuring out what it is that is important to you and loving on that thing, I think that's a deeper form of self-love. Yeah. And that kind of goes into the topic of like cheap dopamine versus like expensive dopamine. I think it's kind of a similar concept, because cheap dopamine is you trying to enjoy simple pleasures that fade away really quickly. Like me being on TikTok for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Mooney Long, like, is it Money Long or Mooney Long? I keep calling her Mooney Long, and it's not Mooney Long, it's Money Long. But that MUNI is Mooney. No? Anyway. That was the millennial in me. Yeah, being on TikTok for hours and hours, like going and getting takeout, which I'm so guilty of. I don't know, those little things that make you feel good in the short term, but then die off really, really quick, versus you going on a run or doing that project that you've been pushing off for such a long time, or reading a book, or I don't know, making dinner, those things that take a little bit more effort but are way more valuable in the long run. I think it's the same kind of concept of self-love is just not as fulfilling as self-discovery is. Because I think as a late bloomer, the most important thing is that change and growth are really our main pillars right now. we're really trying to like accept who we are, accept and build who we are, right? And live life based on those new rules that we've like set up for ourselves. So yeah, that's my hot take for the day. I hope that you found that really valuable. I did, personally, because now I'm thinking about, okay, who am I? Who am I? I thought that I was really good at like being on my own, living alone. I thought that I was like an introvert, and I am, I think. But I also think that I can be very extroverted, and I think that I get a lot of energy from being around people. And I'm realizing now in my 30s that even though living alone is cool, I need to put in effort to like see people and meet people and hang out with people and hang out with my friends, because that really does feed my soul, and that comes from self-discovery. And so the action of making sure that I go out at least once a week, that's the self-love, I'm using myself as an example. Please do this homework with yourself as well. I realized that I really wanted something that was mine. Like, I really wanted a project that I didn't help somebody else create. I wasn't working in tandem with somebody else to push off the ground. I wasn't behind the scenes. Something that was mine, that was my face. Like, that was important to me. I built, and I'm talking to people as the person. That I found out that I realized through self-discovery that was really important to me. And so this podcast was born. What else? Something that I'm working on that I haven't really achieved yet is that I really want to be healthy. I want to have a healthy diet, and I want to really work on being a more balanced person, somebody who like goes out and goes for a run and eats healthy and all that stuff. I haven't achieved that yet. And that's something that I really want to work on in the future. So that's that. Yeah. But I hope that you really found this helpful and valuable and useful into your own life, and figure out what it is that you like to do. Go out, take yourself out, try new hobbies, cook new meals, talk to new friends, like figure out who you are. Really look into yourself, and then take action to make those things a reality. And then you'll be doing self-love. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.